one. Okay, so today I explain how to solve problems on the arithmetic proficiency test, and I will show this on the example of test number 1. The other tests, number 2, 3, 4, and so on, have the same idea, exactly the same problems, no difference. The only difference is the numbers. So I will start solving these 14 problems. I usually give 2 points per problem, 28 points, and you just got them for test number 1. Okay, so let me explain to you how to solve every single problem. Problem number 1. This is f2 3/4 plus 1 and 1/6. Okay. Add these two fractions in mixed number form. So in the end you have to get integer part and fractional part. So the easiest way is to do it as follows. First add 2 plus 1, okay, integer part will be 3, and next 3/4 plus 1/6. Okay, how to do that? You have to convert these two fractions into the fractions with the same common denominator. And what is common denominator here? Common denominator is a number which is divisible by both 4 and 6. You can take, for example, 4 times 6, 24. But it's better to find the least common denominator, the smallest one. What is that? Which number is divisible by 4 and by 6 simultaneously?
12.
12, yes. Okay, so you just write, and how to get 12 from 4? Multiply by 3. So therefore I write the following. So I multiply by 3 to get 12, and here I have to multiply by 2 to get 12. So I multiply, so I can write this as follows. 3/4 times 3 3s, which is 1, right? Okay, plus 1/6 times 2 divided by 2, which is 1 again. If I multiply by 1, I don't change anything, right? But now I have 9 12 plus 2 12. And the answer is 11 12. So therefore I have integer part 3, and then plus 11 12. When I add these two numbers, I will get mixed fraction. So the answer is 3 11 over 12, and I circle it. You see, here I showed very thoroughly how you got 12. But generally, so because I want to miss these simple steps, and let me just rewrite this as follows. I just write 1 bar between the equality sign and and write the denominator, least common denominator, so which is 12. Then I divide 12 by 4 and get 3. 12 divided by 6, get 2. And then I write the following, 3 times 3, and then plus 2 times 1. Remember that multiplication should be done first and addition in the end. Okay, so now we have, so you can write equality, and write equality again, and again the bar in between. Please do that very accurately and neatly. Okay, 9 plus, you can calculate it quickly, so 9 plus 2 over 12. Instead of writing 9 12 plus 2 12, I just write 1 common bar. And so the answer is 11 12. So I have that one, this one, and so I go to the integer part, and then I go to the fractional part. So clear, right? Okay, good. Now, more difficult is number 2. Okay. So I think maybe I write on the top, it will be seen better. Number 2. So now you have to subtract 3 1/6 minus 1 and 3/4. Okay, as before, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 1/6 minus 3/4. You have to do the same thing. Instead of the only difference is it's written plus here, and here we have minus. Okay, common denominator is 12. Again, divide by 6, you get 2. Divide by 4, you get 3. 2 times 1 will be 2. 3 times 3 is 9, and you have 2 minus 9. What is 2 minus 9?
-7.
-7. So you write -7 over 12, but you write minus in front. -7/12. What does this minus mean? It means that you have to subtract. So therefore now you have the following. You have integer part 2, and you have to subtract 7/12. Do you recognize this problem? Is the problem how to subtract a fraction from an integer, okay? So you have 2 pizzas, you subtract 7/12 of 1 pizza, so therefore 1 pizza is left over, and out of 12 pieces you ate 7, 5 are left over. So 12 minus 7 is 5. So, okay, so that idea, that big idea, which I applied for big fractions, works here for small fractions as well. 1 plus 5/12 is exactly a mixed fraction. So the answer is 1, 5/12. Okay, plus is omitted. It's just our agreement. Okay, it's mathematical agreement not to write down. So you have to write, by the way, so it's written, so this is the answer, and you see that it's written 2 and then bar, so you have to write the number again and circle it again. So that you have to do all the time. Once you get the answer, you have to write your answer also above the underbar to see clearly. Okay, now next one is add. Okay, now I just write number 3 here. Okay, add 5/8 plus 1/12. Okay, what is the common denominator? Common denominator, how to find it? 8 is divisible by 4 and 12 is divisible by 4, right? So therefore we have 4. So what do we have here? You have 4 times 2, and here we have 4 times 3. So therefore, you see that 3 is here in 12, but not in there. And likewise, this 2 is in 8, but not in 12. So the additional factors will be exactly 3 here, and this will be 2. So you take 4 times 2, and if you multiply by 3, it will be 24. Or if you take 4 times 3 and multiply by 2, you get also 24. The common denominator is 24. And I write again, this is one fraction. Now I multiply 3 times 5, 15, plus 2 times 1 is 2. So the answer is equals, okay, equality sign in between, and the answer is 17 over 24, 17/24. Yes, it's written here. Okay, I guess it's clear, right? So, okay, we continue further. This is number 3. Okay, let me just separate this. Okay, number 4. Number 4. Subtract 7/15 minus 3/10. Okay, again you have to write common denominator. What is the common denominator? Let's look. Here you see 5 times 3, and this is 5 times 2. So therefore 2, which is in 10, is not there. If you multiply by that 2, you'll get 5 times 3 times 2, which will be 30. If you take 5 times 2, then 3 is not here. So if you multiply 10 by 3, you get the same 30. So therefore the least common denominator is 30. Now if you divide by 15, you get 2. Exactly that 2 which is not here. You have 2 here. 30 divided by 10 will be 3. And this is exactly that 3 which is not there. So 2 times 7, 14, minus 9. Okay, and you get what? 5/30. if you write that answer, you will lose 1 point because you have to reduce the fraction. In this case, it's clear what you have to reduce. Divide by 5, you get 1/6. So you write 1/6. Okay, you see, all the time I wrote equality sign. This difference is equal to that fraction, equals. The line is in between. Equals, now I continue. That number is equal to that number. And finally, I got this number, circle it, and this will be the answer. Okay. Now we go to multiplication. Multiplication is the easiest way to do. Number 5, multiply 7/15 times 3/10. Okay, this is the easiest operation, arithmetic operation. It's much easier than addition or subtraction, and even division. 7/15 times 3/10. Okay, what you have to do, you have to multiply numerators separately and the denominators. Okay, so many students wrote 21 divided by 150, and this is the answer, but it's not the end, because the fraction must be reduced. You can reduce in the very end, but sometimes it's not clear which factor you have to reduce to. So it's better, and I just encourage you, and I insist you to do that all the time, try to do at least. Reduce this fraction before multiplying. Now let's look, 7 and 15. They have no common factor. 7 and 10 doesn't have, but 3 and 15 has. They have, okay. And so you can divide by 3. Divide by 3, you get 1, you get 5 here. Now after that you cannot cancel anything else. So multiply 7 by 1 equals, okay, 7. 7 and 5 times 10 is 50. That's it. Okay, that fraction is not reduced anymore. Okay, good. By the way, so at this moment I like to tell, and once I told you that problem. So suppose you have looks like very difficult problem. So take the following. Okay, 1/2 times 2/3 times 3/4 times 4/5 times 5/6 times, let me just write ... which means I missed, what's next? 6/7, right? Then 7/8 and so on. And I continue, and I will get in the end 98. Let's write this one, 97 over 98 times 98 over 99 and times 99 over 100. What is that fraction? How to calculate it? How to find the product? And actually, by the way, I asked that question in the homework number 1 assignment. Is it bigger than 1/10 or smaller than 1/10 or equal to 1/10? So 3 possibilities could happen. Either less or equal or greater. So what do? If you multiply numerators, you'll get a huge number. Even your calculator will not show you. It will be a huge number. Likewise, denominator is even bigger. But when you multiply, you will see that 2 and 2 canceled out, right? Okay, now 3 and 3 canceled out. 4 and 4 cancel. Likewise here, 3 and 15. Okay, divide by 3, and this is divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 4 also 1. So this one, and now what's next? Next is 6 here, 6/7. 6 canceled out. 7 will cancel out with the next 7. It's going and going, it's a kind of wave that goes to from left to right. And finally, what is the fraction before that? 97, so it canceled out here, 98 here, 99 here. What's left over? Equals. Okay, you see 1 and 100. 1 over 100. Okay, so all the others cancelled out, and this is the answer. Okay, it's less than 1/10. Yes, it's actually, I should have asked about 100. One more thing I want to tell you about. So when you multiply, you see all the fractions are less than 1. If you multiply a number by another number less than 1, you get a number less than your number. So suppose your number is a, and you multiply by some x, and x less than 1. So therefore, it will be less than a times 1. If I increase x up to 1, I get bigger number. But what is a times 1? A times 1 is exactly a. So we get the following. If I multiply by a number smaller than 1, any number, I get in the answer the number, okay, so the product will be less than my initial number. So that's why if I multiply 1/2 times 2/3, it will be smaller than 1/2. Actually, if I exchange them, it will be smaller than 2/3. Actually, it will be 1/3. You see, if I take only that part, only 1/3. Okay, so and likewise here, 4/5 and 5/6. I multiply by a number smaller than 1, so I get a number less than 4/5. Okay, so you understand. First, you have to cancel and then multiply. So first reduce and then multiply. Yeah. By the way, I found out that that left part is not seen clearly, so I will draw a line border. Maybe up here. Okay. So next problem. Now division. Okay. Divide. The same thing, the same fraction, 7/15 divide by 3/10. Okay, I show you how to solve in two different ways. So first way is that one. When you divide one number to another number, it is the same as leave the first number and multiply by the reciprocal. So multiply by 10/3. So you just flip that fraction over, flip, and then multiply. And then multiplication is easy. Okay, so if you can cancel by what? By which number? 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and this will be 2. So if you multiply 7 times 2 is 14, divide by 9. Okay? Instead of writing 70, divide by 45. 70 divided by 45, then you have to figure out, so you have to cancel, divide 70 by 5. It's a long division, maybe 14 and then 9. Now, that answer is acceptable, but you will lose also 1 point from now on. Because you see the numerator bigger than the denominator, so you have to convert into a mixed fraction. Okay, how to do that? 14/9 is 1. 1 time. 1 times 9 is 9, minus 14 minus 9 will be 5. So 5 nines. So this is the answer. And you have to circle this answer and put it in the appropriate place. Now I promise to explain to you that division in a little bit different way. So that division could be written as follows. So what is that? It's denote this number by A and that the number by B. So A over B can be written as follows, as a fraction, A over B, right? If you have, say, 2/3, it's a normal fraction. If A and B are integers, it's clear. But now we have deal with fractions. So this could be written as follows. That's why I asked you to write the bar, the main bar between the equality sign. So like here. And write 7/15 on the top, which is A, and 3/10 below. how to divide. Okay, divide this as follows. Okay, you write again this one. Suppress, okay, push on the fraction 7/15. It will go down, down, down until that bar, small bar, will coincide with big bar. And you have 7/15. Okay, so 15 will be under the bar. Okay, then multiply, multiply. And now, when you divide this one, this 10 jumps out, jumps up. So 3 is left over. 3 cannot penetrate the bar, but 10 must, it jumps here. When you push it in here, it goes up. It looks like a circle, 7/15 goes down and 3/10 goes up. So times 10. And you got exactly what we had before. 7 times 10, 15 times 3. Cancel again by 5, you get 2, 3, and then you go to that one, and finally you go to this one. You got it? So all the time you have to work with fractions this way. So for example, let me show you something like this. So suppose you have 3/7 divided by 8. 8/14. 8/21. So what do? Okay, we push fraction 3/7, right? 3/7 here. 8 is here, and 21 goes up. And now we have 1 here, 3 here. So we have 9/8, or as a mixed fraction 1 and 1/8. So what do? You just move this down, and that moves up. Especially simple is if you have the same denominator. 3/7, say, divided by 8/7. What do? That 7 goes down. You have 3/7 times, and that 7 goes up. And they canceled out. So the answer is 3/8. So this is the answer. But if you see the same denominator, you can cancel simultaneous at once, and you get 3/8 immediately. Okay, but the general rule, when you divide this way, you have to make reciprocal to 3/10. By the way, if you write in that way, okay, forget about this and say 1. Suppose it's written 1 here, okay, and 1 divided by 3/10 is exactly taking reciprocal. Reciprocal is 1 divided by a number. Reciprocal to 5 is 1/5. Reciprocal to 1/5 will be 5. Okay, 1 divided by 1/5, what is that? This 5 goes up. 1 times 5 divided by 1, and the answer is 5. So reciprocal is that one. Reciprocal to 3/8 is 8/3. And so on. Okay, got it, right? Okay, so division with pass. Okay, now we go to addition. Okay, addition I will, so it's problem number 7. Add the numbers 1.5 and then plus 0.015 plus just 15 plus 0.15. Okay, so what's the answer? In this case, you have to write, when you add, you have to write the numbers in such a way that all the decimal points are one beneath the other, making one column. So you start writing 1.5. Next you write dot here. Okay, so 1. Then you write 0, then you write 0 here, 1 here, and 5, right? Very neatly. Next number is 15. 15 is 15.000, right? So you just write 15 like that, and then you just write 0, 0, 0, or don't write anything. And finally you have dot here, 15, and 0 here. Now after that you may or may not fill the other places with zeros. Okay, just in case, let me just draw, okay, very teeny tiny zeros and add them up in column. This will be 5, this will be 6, this will be 6, then dot, okay, then here is 6, and then this is the number. And that number you rewrite here, 16 and 665 thousandths. Okay, got it. This is the simplest working. And I also wrote in my handwriting, so put the decimal points one beneath the other. This is the general rule. Okay, next subtraction, number 8. Almost the same. 4.2, okay, minus 1.4. What is that? You write the same thing, so 4.2 minus 1.4. And after that you get one beneath the other, so you put this one here. And after that subtract these numbers like 3-digit numbers. So if you write 0, you have 3-digit number. 2 minus 0 is 2, 10 minus 4, you cannot subtract, you just subtract from here 3, you just write 1 here, 10 minus 4 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2. And this is the answer. So 2.62 circle it. Okay, so far so good, right? Yes. Clear. Now we go to more difficult part, and do I have room in here? No, by the way, so let me restrict myself with this line. Okay, we go to problem number 9, multiply the numbers. So here is the problem. Number 9. 4.03 times 1.7 equals. Okay, you just write 403 times 17, and this time you do not need to put decimal point beneath the decimal point. It's not important now. 4, so 1 point is here, 1 point is there. But important to write that a little bit different. So you have to write in such a way that the less digits one beneath the other. So if you write this number 403 from right to left, and this from right to left, the less digits must be one beneath the other, okay? Now after that, forget about decimal points and multiply like 3-digit number and 2-digit number. Okay, 7 times 3, 21. Okay, plus 2. 7 times 0, 0 plus 2 will be 2. When you have 0 all the time, you can multiply and write 21 immediately. Cross that. 7 times 4, 28. Then you multiply 1 by that. It's easy, and don't forget to shift it by 1 unit. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. Then you add them up. You get 1, 5, 8, 6. 6,851. But of course, if you multiply 4 by, so 4 something times 1.7 is about 2, right? If you multiply this by that, you will not get bigger than 8. So it will be in the range, okay, if 8-ish, something like that. So, but here it's 8-ish, it means 6. So point must be written here. But there is a strong rule how to find if you can figure out exactly how many digits you have before the decimal point. 2, right? 2 here. How many points you have? How many digits you have before the decimal point? 1. What is total? 2 plus 1, 3. So you count 3 from right to left. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point. Got it? All the time. If you have, say, 5 decimal signs and 3 decimal signs, in the end will be 8 decimal signs, and then the period. Okay, this number 9. Okay, and you have to write the answer 6.851. When you write your answer, please write the dot, that dot point, decimal point, very clearly, so that It's okay, so that I can see where it's located. Many students got 6,851. How could it be if you multiply 4 something by about 2? No more than 8. So it cannot be 6,800. Or cannot be 68.51. Only 6 something. Okay, between 8 and, if you multiply by 1, if you forget about 7, you get 4, right? If you increase that by 2, you'll get 8. So it will be between 4 and 8. So 6 something. Okay. Got it? Okay, good. Now, next is division. Okay, 10 divide 4, okay, 459 divide by 1.7 and write the answer. I have it here. Okay, now we make long division. 459 divided by 1.7. Okay, first what you have to do, convert the divisor. This is the denominator. By the way, so this could be written as follows. 459 divided by 1.7. If you multiply by 10 both parts, you move decimal point to the right by 1 unit. And now you see that 17 is an integer, so you can remove this decimal point. So let's do the following. So move decimal point to the right until you get an integer in the denominator. So it will be decimal point here. After that, divide us in standard way as integer over integer, whole number over whole number. Okay, 4 divided by 1, it will be 4. But it's too big, I guess. So let's take 3. 3 times 17, if you multiply, 17 times 3, 3 times 7, 21, 2, 3 times 1 plus 2 will be 51. And here we have only 45. So 3 is also too big. So therefore, instead of 3, I just write 2. Okay, multiply 17 by 2. Okay, 2 times 7, 14, 1 here. 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. 34. 34 is less than 45, and this is good. Now subtract. Okay, I want to erase that. I hope that everyone can make multiplication. So 2 times 17 is 34. Subtract. 5 minus 4, 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. 11, by the way, is less than 17. So that's why it shows that your division is good so far. If you write 51 here, then the difference will be negative. If you take only one time, multiply by 17 and subtract 17, it will be, the difference will be bigger than 17. It's not good. So you have to get a remainder strictly smaller than that one. Okay, now after that you have to move a decimal point down, but don't do this. Instead, move it up. Okay, so move it up at this moment and put here. So it will be therefore 2. Now after that, move only 9. 119 over 17. Okay, so you have to remember table of multiplication. Which number you have to multiply by 7 to get in the end 9? The only possibility is 7. 7 times 7, 49. So let's try 7. 17 times 7. 7 times 7, 49. Okay, which is good. Plus 4. 7 times 1, 7 plus 4 is 11. Exactly that number. So when you multiply, you get 119. You get 0, and so 0 tells you to stop. Stop. So the answer is that one, 2.7. 2.7 circle. Got it? Okay, that one is, many students got an correct answer and didn't make long division, so you have to show the long division. Okay, number 11. So we start percentage, and that was the most difficult part for solving. It's actually easy if you know how to do that, and difficult if you don't. Okay, problem, just look what is that, it's in here, right? Okay, problem 11. convert to a percent. Convert to a percent. Okay, so if you convert something into percent, you must multiply by 100%. Multiply by 100%. You have to understand what is percent. Percent is 100th, like 1 cent out of $1. Dollar has 100 cents, and this is percent divided by 100. So, and actually, by the way, so what is that? It's 100 times 1 over 100. Cancelled out, you get 1. So you just multiply by 1. You don't change the number, but you express it in hundreds, in percent. So that's why you multiply by 100, and now you must write percent, because it is the same as multiply by 1. Okay, so 3/8. Okay, that's what we want to get. Okay, 3/8. Okay, you multiply by 100%. How to multiply by an integer? If you multiply by an integer, you must multiply that integer, or any number, no matter what, not necessarily integer, say 15 halves or whatever number, it must multiply by the numerator. So you multiply 3 by 100, divide by 8, and the answer will be in percent. So it will be 300 over 8%. Okay. Now divide. Okay, divide. The easiest way, divide in column. But before, you can cancel by 2 or even by 4. Okay, let me do this in a simpler way. So 300 divided by 8. So how many times I have to take? 30 over 8. 4 times 8, 32. Too many, right? So take 3. 3 times 8?
24.
24. Good. So subtract, you get 60. 60 is not divisible by 8, but you can get a closer number. What is that? If you take 8, it will be 64. So take 7. Will be 7 times 8?
50 something.
No, 7 times 8.
Oh,
Yes, 50 something here, but what
so I
sum?
can't think of it.
56.
56.
Yeah, 37. 56. You get 4. You haven't finished your division, but now you are at the decimal point. That's why you have to write 0 here and move it down to continue. 40. And because you wrote decimal point here, you must write decimal point here as well. 40 over 8 will be 5. Okay, so, and my 5 times 8 will be 40. So the answer is 0, so you have to stop. Okay, so what's the answer? 37.5. If you write that way, you will lose a point at least. Don't forget to write percentage sign and then circle the whole thing. So therefore the answer is in percentage. Got it, right? So again, convert it into percent, multiply by 100. Okay, when I give you your grade, okay, I calculate so many problems solved out of so many. I divide one by another. I got a fraction. Then I multiply by 100% and find in percent. So it's kind of change the scale. You have scale 1, and now you just the same number you just consider as a 100, but smaller units. Each unit is 100th, 1%. Okay, good. Number 12, we are close to the end. Okay, number 12. Here, okay, number 12. And convert to a decimal. 4.4%. Okay, now you have to write this as a number. Okay, What is that? This is the same as to write 4.4 times, and instead of percent, you just write 0, 0, 1, or 100th. Okay, this is the same as 4.4 times 100th. Or this is the same as 4.4 equals 4.4 divided by 100, which is the same. When you multiply by a fraction, you multiply this one as a denominator. Okay, so how to multiply? This decimal point, that decimal point. If you forget decimal point, you must multiply by 1. It will be the same 44. Okay, let's write 44. But now after that you have to calculate, okay, you have to find the correct decimal point. And you see here, there are two positions here, two decimal points, this is 1. Total is 3. So you count 1, 2, okay, 3 is not here, you write 0, and then you write 1, 2, 3. Or, which is the same, when you multiply, you take the initial number, let me just write 4.4, and then you jump by 2 units, 1, and then 1 more, and then you put decimal point. And you see, this is a vacant position for 0. So therefore, this is the answer. Move your decimal point to the left by 2 units, please.
The answer on the key is wrong.
It's wrong. Okay, where is that?
Yeah, it says.
No, okay, so, yes, no, okay. Look, really? No, it's written, so
The answer that's circled is
0.44. No, okay, 0.44.
Well, you have .044, but
Okay,
you have it above it.
could you show me?
Yeah,
Yes, okay, maybe.
You have it above it, but you don't have it circled. So
Oh, yeah. So I wrote about, and yes, in my paper I wrote 0 here.
okay.
So that 0 must be written. Okay, please do that 10 times. Okay, it's your exercise. Put right now 0 in that place. Above that I wrote, but by the way, so if you write that way, and in the answer I will see that 0 is omitted, I look at the solution. First I look at the answer. If answer is correct, I see that you got it. But if I see that answer is incorrect, I look at your solution and I see, oh, solution is correct, I give you all points. Okay, in this case I'll give you all points. It's just, I consider this as a typo, just a small typo. Okay, next 16. By the way, in number 13 I forgot to write the percentage on the top, but I wrote it's in the position of the answer. Okay. Number 13. 16, so that one, it's a kind of a little bit logical problem. So what is percentage of 40? Okay, you have to understand that problem like a problem from physics or whatever from. Okay, what does mean 16 is percentage of 40? Suppose I give you a test for 40 points and you earned 16. So what is your grade? How to find? So first you have to find, or I have $40 and I give you 16. So which part of my money I borrowed, I gave you. So it's first what you have to find is the fraction. So 16 is a part of 40, right? If I want to express in percentage of 40, first I have to express it like a fraction. What is that? Okay, this is a fraction. So therefore I reduce this problem to problem number 11, which says convert to a percent. I have this number, so this one is fraction. And I have to convert into percentage. So I multiply by 100%. Okay, that's it. So this, if you calculate, you'll get the answer. Okay, 10 and 10 canceled out. And 16 over 4, okay, it will give you 4, and this is 1, so 4 times 10, so it will be 40. Don't forget to write percent. So this is the answer. So it's 40% of 40. 16 is 40% of 40. Many students, okay, 40 divided by 16 or whatever, I don't know, multiplied by 16. Okay, what you have to remember is that what is given out of that number, so what is given you have to divide by the quantity and then find a fraction and then convert this fraction into percentage. For example, another problem was the following. So what is 32 out of, so what is percentage of, say, 16? What you have to do, find the fraction, 32 over 16. And the answer will be 2, right? So convert 2 into percentage, so multiply by 100%. And so the answer will be 200%. So it's twice, okay, 200% than 16. Now that fraction is not really a fraction, it's bigger than that. So it's some earning. So 200%. If that was 100%, this is 200%, and therefore you earned 100 more. Okay. So next is, and this number 13, and we're very close. What is 30% of 60? Do you know, so of 60, what is 30% is a fraction, and 60 is amount. I could write, for example, $60, or I can write 60 miles. You just drive, and you have to drive 60 miles, but you took only 30% of that of your trip. So what is the how many miles did you drive? So how to do that? You take your quantity, $60 or 60 miles or 60 whatever, and multiply by the fraction. So that one is fraction. Okay, remember this one, this magic word, fraction. So multiply by 13%. This is the standard thing. If you want to find a fraction of something, fraction, you must multiply that something by that fraction. It's multiplication. 1/5 of 100. 100 times 1/5, 20. So half of 100. 100 times 1/2. 100 over 2 is 50. And so on. All the time you multiply by the percentage. How to multiply? You get $60. And what is 30%? Also percentage is also multiplication by 100. So you multiply by 30, you multiply by 100. So percentage is the same as 100. And when you write percentage, it means you multiply by that percentage. Now you see 10 times 10, 100, and this is 10 times 10, so cancelled out. And the answer is 6 times 3. The answer is $18. Dollars or whatever. So the answer is 18. Here you have to write the answer is 18. By the way, don't forget to write the name of the quantity, dollar or miles and so on. Because, okay, some students wrote the answer as follows, 18%, not percent. You take percent of the amount. So if it's dollars, the answer must be in dollars. But if you convert a number into percentage, then you multiply by 100% and the answer will be in percent. That's why you don't need, you have to be careful. If you convert a number into percentage, you multiply by 100% and the answer, and write in the end percent, the sign, percentage sign. But if you take a fraction, percentage of a number, you multiply by this percentage, and percent disappears. The only what's left over is the name of the quantity. Okay, so it's value, it's written here, value, number, not percentage. Okay, so that's it, and now I hope that everyone will be handled to solve the problem.